Assalamu alaikum. First of all, Your Highnesses, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me here, giving me an opportunity to present to you a short presentation on youth and its importance to the vision, Careem's experience, part of this, and what role we are playing in the 2040 vision. Do you know who this is? A show of hands, how many people know who this is? This is Evan Spiegel. He's the founder and CEO of Snapchat. I'm sure some of you have heard of this application. It's worth $4.1 billion today. And he founded it at the age of 21 years old. He's 29 years old today, but he founded this company at 21 years old. And, oh, sorry. Oh, someone skipped here. There was supposed to be someone else. Do you know who this is? Of course, right? Everyone knows who this is. How old is he? He's 26 years old. No need to put his name on the screen. Sorry. And there's many examples I can give, regionally and internationally, of young people who've done so much, like Muhammad Salah, like Evan Spiegel, like Ronaldo Mshahwar, and so on. And what do they have in common? They're all part of the youth. And what do? They're leaders, they're role models, and they're playing a big role in changing the world, not just regionally, but the entire world. And this region is full of them. When you look at Morocco to Pakistan, up to Turkey, down to Sudan, this region is over 600 million people. 600 million people, and half of them are under the age of 25 years old. So the majority of our population are youth. The good news is most of them have phones, smartphones. That means they're connected. They're connected to the rest of the world. Unfortunately, this region, our entire region, our home, hasn't been able to build the infrastructure, critical infrastructure that supports all this. However, the good news is Oman has a very good foundation, a very connected one. Half of the Omani population is actually youth, but also they're third globally in terms of smartphone penetration. That's 152% smartphone penetration, which means the Omani population is connected and is a good foundation. When you have the right environment, then the youth are able to create something with it. And that's what's important. That's what we're trying to build. That's what we're hoping Oman's Vision 2040 will build. It'll build the right environment for young people to do something. I'll just give you an example. The two young founders of Careem that started in their early 30s when they founded Careem. Today, Careem is in 16 countries. It's in over 130 cities. Like I said, in our region, from Pakistan to Morocco. We have 33 million users who have the application and use Careem. There's over 1.4 million captains that make a living off the Careem app every day. And the company has been valued just over $2.5 billion today, just 6 years after existence. It also happens to become the largest employer in certain countries that exist in, for example, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and so on. So, what can I tell you about the youth in Careem? Founders are early 30s. Our average age, at Careem we have over 3,500 employees today across the region, and the average age, including senior managers, is 27 years old only. 27 years old. If you think about the captains who ride on Careem, I mentioned there's 1.4 million of those captains. 70% of these captains are considered youth between the age of 18 and 35. And most of our customers are actually young people moving from point A to B, those who cannot probably afford a car or do not have the luxury of other modes of transport in their cities across this region. We started in ride-hailing because that was the problem we were trying to solve 6 years ago. However, we want to become much bigger than just ride-hailing. Same way Amazon started with books and became this internet giant, We're also trying to become an internet platform for this region that can actually provide our customers with anything from ride-hailing to payments to food. So where we're going, and what do I think is key in this 2040 vision? There's three main elements. One, if you think about it, is the technical and entrepreneurial capabilities we need to provide. Today is the era of innovation. There's an innovation revolution happening. And technology is key for that to happen. If you take Africa, for example, Africa didn't build landlines across the continent. They skipped the whole landline phone, and they went straight into mobile and internet, phone banking, and so on. So they leapfrogged that infrastructure that the West built for maybe 50, 100 years. And that's what we want to do in this region. We skipped a few building blocks, but what we can do is we can leapfrog and jump into the future using technology. So it's very important to make these investments. We need to build infrastructure, world-class infrastructure, to attract talent. If you cannot attract talent to the country, then you cannot have that strong base to build the next Careem, the next Facebook, the next Google. So it's very important for us to build that infrastructure. And finally, the labor market. People have options these days, especially the smartest people. If you don't give them options, they don't give them flexibility to move around, to grow every single day, and this is what the new generation wants. They're looking for growth opportunities, challenges. If we don't give them that, they'll move out. They'll leave the city, they'll leave the country, they'll leave the region, and they'll go back outside. So how do we prepare youth for tech? Careem's been doing a few things, and of course, we're just one company, but this is what we need to aspire to do. We were part of a Million Arab Coders partnership with the Dubai government, which invited and trained 1 million Arab coders in coding, development, software engineering. We launched the Careem Erupt program, which mentors and trains entrepreneurs in Pakistan, but we want to expand this across the entire region. And finally, we're continuously mentoring startups, entrepreneurs, founders, CEOs of SMEs and so on through our leadership team and our founders. What role are we playing in 2040? We hope to play a small role in supporting Oman and its vision. We've signed an MOU late last year, looking at a partnership where we can roll out our ride-sharing capabilities in Oman to help people move around in a more efficient, cost-effective way, create accessibility for transport across the country, but also introduce more innovative products that can help different industries, whether it's oil and gas or it's logistics in general across Oman. These efforts can create employment, but it'll also, good hopes, work with smaller entrepreneurs and startups to support them in coming up with the next innovation. I'll leave you with this. This is Qais. He started his business at 31 years old. He's been very influential in supporting startups and the entrepreneurial ecosystem. My question to everybody is the Oman 2040 vision gonna produce the next Even Spiegel out of Oman? And I really hope we see that. Thank you very much.